Good morning. Rise and shine. Yeah, I know. I keep trying to come up with something that is in the public domain to sing to you first thing each morning. So far, not feeling it. House of the Rising Sun? Yeah, okay, but it hasn't. You know what I mean? Good morning. Tennis again today, this time with Indy. He promised to be gentle with me. They told me just go play, go play, go play, go play, and let's see how that does with your slip disc. I think I'm going to be fine as long as I don't do, that side to side lateral stuff. Okay, enough about tennis. I'll tell you tomorrow how it goes today because I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be an awesome Saturday. Yesterday was an awesome Friday. Remember our weekend because Indy doesn't see patients on Friday. So, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have a 3-day weekend every week. And for me, it's a 7-day weekend most of the time. Yeah. Because my work is my fun and my fun is my work. There you go. So, Yesterday, I had a really good workout at physical therapy. For those of you who are new, I I have a bulging disc or something like that. Anyway, I've been out of tennis for almost 4 months, which has been it's been sheer hell, is what it's been because I need to get out there and get my exercise and have some fun. Anyway, yesterday they worked me really hard and I was really tired. And Indy said, let's go out to lunch. We had the most delightful lunch at Shields Date Date Shields. They are like the preeminent date grower producer, I don't know, in the country. I Maybe bigger. I don't know. They're huge. They're huge. All these beautiful date palms. And I'm not a big fan of dates. I'm not going to lie. I don't hate them. But they do date shakes. And their big thing is they're a tourist attraction as well. And they have this movie that they show in their store. They have like a separate little room for it called The Sex Life of a Date. And I can remember as a kid driving on the freeway, coming this direction and seeing signs to go see a movie called The Sex Life of a Date. Talk about using sex to sell sugar. Woo! And apparently, according to Indy, they're the ones who also came up with a way to make sugar out of dates. So they sell this crystal that's sugar made out of dates. Yeah. Anyway, they have this lovely outside patio where they serve breakfast and lunch from, I don't know, morning until about 2 in the afternoon. So I went and I had a late lunch at around 1:30. It was delicious. I had um an omelet and I got to say what I wanted in it. Yeah, what do you eat in your omelets? Yeah. I mean, your favorites, right? Yeah, I have favorites. Okay, no, you didn't ask me what I like, so I'm not going to tell you. No, sorry, you didn't ask, so you can't know. So this place is a farm, a garden, a restaurant. They have a great little shop where you can buy dates, date products, date gifts, but also all kinds of kitchen things and kitschy things as well. Like there's all these shilling toys from the past. I want to show you this right here. Oh, you don't really get to see how beautiful they are, but the flowers right now, they're so fall-like. The colors, they're burgundy and yellow and green, and I like those colors. There was plenty of orange there too, but I didn't pick up any orange. It's not my favorite. Although I did have an orange car once, and I do have a bright orange dress that I like very much. It's just not my favorite color. So what else? Then after we ate, yes, after we ate, I decided that Indy should pick the movie yesterday. We went to a movie. I like going to the movies because hardly anybody goes right now. So you feel very safe in there. I wear my mask the whole time I'm sitting there, but there's really basically no one around me. And there's this theater that's in one of the shopping malls in Palm Desert, and it's from yesterday. I mean, let's face it, it is not one of those modern theaters that I love, don't get me wrong. where you sit all the way back and your feet go up and you have room for everything. And it's like laying in bed watching a movie and it's awesome. This theater is like $7 a ticket, which is nothing these days. And it's just a plain old movie theater. So hardly anyone goes. I'll tell you how small town this movie theater is. When we came in, good morning, Stephen. When we got to the movie theater, we ordered a large popcorn, and the guy said, "You know what? We're gonna have to make some. Yeah. How about we bring it to you in about 5 minutes?" And indeed, 5 minutes later, this woman walks in with a large popcorn, and she says, "Oh, here's the popcorn." Seriously, seriously. We had seat service at the movies. All right, so what did we go to see? Did I tell you yet? Um, what's the name of it? The new James Bond movie. License to Die? Time Time to Die? Something like that? Something to Die. Anyway, I used to be a huge, huge James Bond fan. And in truth, when I was in like junior high, high school, whatever, whenever it was, I read every Ian Fleming book I could possibly get my hands on. I just thought they were so exciting. And when the movies started coming out, I never missed one. At least not of the first like 5 or 7 when James Bond was still really James Bond. I mean, it was Sean Connery. When they switched over to somebody else, it was like, yeah, not so interested now. And I guess I kind of made a decision that I didn't like James Bond anymore. Indy loves James Bond. He watches all the movies on TV, and when they come on, I leave the room. But there was this new movie, and I knew he really wanted to see it. And guess what? I knew it wouldn't kill me. I might even enjoy it. I loved it. It was awesome with Daniel Craig. He made a really good James Bond. He wasn't like Sean Connery. He was his own man, but he was really good. There were moments when I had to suspend reality in order to, like, stay in with the movie, and then I realized this is a story, it's a movie. Just go with the flow. It was really good. I highly recommend it. It was exciting from start to finish, even though there were some pieces that I didn't think really fit together. It didn't matter. In the end, the whole puzzle fit, and it left us wanting more. It did. I'll go see the next one, if there is a next one. Oh, there'll be a next one, Sandy. Don't you worry. Bye-bye. Okay, what else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, I told you I'm going to play tennis today. That's why I have the red hat on. It's a red hat day. Yay. It's also Make a Difference Day. The fourth Saturday of the month, neighbors are supposed to help neighbors. Now, I have to be honest with you. As friendly a person as I am, and as much as I've lived here with Indy for going on a couple years now, I know my next door neighbors, I don't really even know them. I've met him. I've talked to him. I've waved at her. I've seen their kids, but I wouldn't recognize them if I saw them again. I but if I saw a neighbor in trouble, I would help them. I would. In the meantime, I'm just passing on that it's neighbors helping neighbors today. It's Make a Difference Day. I don't think my next door neighbors know my chickens, Steven. I know you're teasing me, but seriously, you have to get that we live on a corner and the chicken coop is on the corner that's farthest away from anybody's house. We live in a very suburban kind of neighborhood, but not like suburban that's like crazy built up. Plus, on the other side of the street, there's an airport. Yeah, we never hear the planes. So how could they hear the chickens? No, doesn't happen. And one day I even saw somebody walking the chicken down the street on a leash. I'm serious. It was hilarious. I don't think anyone knows our chickens. Okay, I can say rooster. We don't have the rooster anymore. Rooster, bye-bye. And honestly, I don't think they could even hear the rooster. If you were here and you could see the way it was set up, you'd see that the closest house was a street away. Nobody. Nobody. Nobody, I promise. There's like a lot between us and every house, or a street between us and every house. Yeah, we're far, 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 far away. It's a TV talk show day. Okay, so I think that's hooey to call it TV talk show day. Why not just call it Johnny Carson Day? It's his birthday. That's why I think we have TV talk show day. You do know that Johnny Carson was like the first of his genre, and he's the one who like set the code. You have to have a house band and you have to have a couch for the guests, like that. That was his thing. And now everybody does it that way because, hey, he was extremely successful doing that. I'm moving my camera back a little bit so I can get my coffee in front of me. Ta-da! Some overhead shots of the chicken coop would not be funny? Yeah. I don't know that that's gonna happen. Every single time I think they're gonna start on the swimming pool, something holds it off a little bit. I know you were expecting that, weren't you? I'm still expecting to have a swimming pool by November. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But back to Johnny Carson. You know me, I love the trivia stuff. I love the things that, oh my gosh, I didn't know that, right? So, Johnny Carson trivia. Johnny Carson sold his house, right? I'm sure it was billions and billions of dollars. And he sold it to John McEnroe, the tennis player. Yeah, with a codicil. Included in the price of the house, John McEnroe had to give 6 tennis lessons to Johnny Carson. Seriously. I just thought that was pretty cool considering that I love tennis and it's Johnny Carson's birthday. Okay, so I know this is going to interest you. In 1895, there was a congressman whose name was Maverick, by the way. I know, like that was a real name. His name was Maury Maverick, and he's the guy who is credited with coming up with the name gobbledygook. The word gobbledygook. Oh, that's a bunch of gobbledygook. And I think he was talking about Congress, which could still be said about Congress. It's a bunch of gobbledygook. Anyway, 1906, Gertrude Elderly. She was the first woman to swim the English Channel, and she did it like 2 hours faster than any man had done it up to that point. And her record held for like 30 years. Now, why is this important to me? Because I'm trying to get up the courage to swim the length of my pool when we get it in. I'm not really big on water. If my good friend Gertrude were here, she'd probably give me some lessons. But here's the good news. I do have a number of friends who are big deal swimmers, and they've all offered to give me lessons. I know how to swim. I need somebody to give me bravery and water lessons. That's what I need. See, here's the thing. I think I might have mentioned this before. When I was in the, I don't know, fifth or sixth grade, maybe fourth grade, I still lived in Skokie, Illinois. And at my favorite Auntie Lou's house, just about a block away was the Devonshire pool. Anybody? Anybody? It was the community pool. There were 2 pools, a kids pool and an adult pool. The adult pool had a high dive and 2 low dives. The kids pool was a little bit more shallow and it was really just for kids to play in. I played in the kids pool. My friends all played in the grown up pool because they were all strong swimmers and they liked to jump off the diving board. See, Stephen, you know the Devonshire pool. So I used to go there like I belonged. You had to belong. And they had showers and bathrooms and towels and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, everybody belonged because it was the only thing to do in the heat of the summer was to go to the neighborhood pool. So there I was enjoying myself in the kids' pool, and a couple of my friends came over and said, "Come on, come join us in the big pool." And I said, I can't. I don't swim. I only float. And they said, Sandy, you don't have to swim to jump off the low diving board. You jump off, you go down, the water pressure pulls you back up, and then you just float to the side. It's easy peasy. You can do it. I said, no, I'm scared. Oh, don't be scared. The water pops you right back up and you just automatically glide to the side. Well, they convinced me that I could do it. So I walked over with them and they all jumped off the diving board and came over to the side. I jumped off the board like I was supposed to, and I went down exactly like I was supposed to. Only they lied to me. You don't automatically come up. You've kind of like do stuff to come up. And I got scared. So I panicked and I started pounding in the water and kicking my feet and flailing around. And Denny, the lifeguard, the most handsome lifeguard at the entire pool. We all had huge crushes on the lifeguard. He had to jump in the pool and do that thing where he puts his arm around your neck and he swims you to the side. He had to save me. Yes. And then he helped me get out of the pool and he made me come to the office. And then the person in charge of the pool gave me a lecture on how stupid I was and kicked me out of the pool for the rest of the day. I was not only terrified, now I was also humiliated. So I walked back to my aunt's house because it was only about a block away, and I hid in her garage. Okay, if truth be known, I was really little and she was really clean and the trash cans were empty. So I climbed inside a trash can and put the cover over me and I hid in her trash can in a garbage can for most of the afternoon. I was so humiliated. So is it any big surprise that now I don't love to swim? I mean, come on, seriously, I don't love it, but I'm going to learn to love it and play games in the pool. I'm pretty excited about that. All right, what else? Chichi Rodriguez. I only mentioned that not because he was a famous golfer, but because I just love his name. Wouldn't you love a name like, hey, Chichi, what's happening, baby? But I think that was like his name. And then 1969. 1969. He's a baby for crying out loud. Sanjay Gupta, from TV, the doctor from TV, he was born in 1969. The other day I was at the store and somebody was buying alcohol and I heard the clerk say to the woman buying the alcohol, what year were you born? And she said 1967 and I thought to myself, oh, well then you're just a kid. And then I thought about how old you are if you were really born in 1967. You're not a kid anymore. You're not a kid anymore. I don't even know what the name of that song is, so I don't own the rights to it, and I'm sorry that I sang it. I didn't mean it. It wasn't really a song. It was just that's what I do. I sing. Michael Crichton. It's his birthday. The guy who wrote Jurassic Park. That's what most people know him for. He also wrote The Andromeda Strain, which was an awesome movie. And if you haven't seen it, you should see it. But more recently, he wrote Westworld. Yeah. Now, if you need something to binge watch, Westworld on Netflix is really, really. I didn't really love the last season, or maybe the last two seasons, but the first few seasons, wow. Wow. It's about artificial intelligence, which most of us seem to have. I don't know. Anyway, Weird Al Yankovic. He's the guy who wrote Weird Al. He wrote the parodies. It's his birthday too. He was born in 1959. I am 10 years older than he. 10 years and like not even 2 weeks. Yeah. 10 years and not even 2 weeks, which means it's almost my birthday. Have I mentioned at least 1,000 times that I love my birthday? I love it. I love it. And Indy is going to figure out how to make one of those ice cream roll-up cakes for me. And my friend Jeff is taking me to see Jackson Brown, who is guest starring with James Taylor, who I love. And I thank you, Tracy Saman, for letting me know that they were touring so I could ask somebody to take me for my birthday. I love my birthday. I'm also going up to LA and I'm going to see Banksy, the artist, the street artist. There's a Banksy thing I got tickets for months ago that Indy and I are going to see. And while I'm up there, I'll be able to have a birthday dinner with my children and grandchild. And that makes me happy too. Yeah. I love my birthday. Did I mention that 100 times? I love my birthday. Oh, and I'm going to be 72. I know a lot of people don't talk about how old they are. I do because my mom, Fritzy was very wise about things like this. I have a feeling her mother told her this. Whatever age you are is the perfect age to be. I don't know. I heard that my whole life. So guess what? I believe it. Yeah, I do. I take it seriously. It is. To hear the song Believe What I Say? Can you hear that? I don't know what I said that sounded like her name, but she started talking back to me. Yeah. That's artificial intelligence. Song, Guess What I Believe in. Alexa, stop. I have a meme for that. I think maybe tomorrow I'll use it. Juan Antonio Rodriguez. That was Chi-Chi's real name. Juan Antonio Rodriguez. That's also a very cool name. What's your name? Juan Antonio Rodriguez. It sounds like something out of the movies, doesn't it? Yes. Chi-Chi. I like Chi-Chi. Okay, I got some funny stories to tell you today. Some funny ones. First of all, it's also the anniversary of the death of Al Jolson. Al Jolson, like the greatest entertainer of the 20s and 30s, highest paid entertainer of the 20s and 30s. That was back in the day when we Americans thought a white man or woman putting on blackface was great entertainment. Wow. But he was that guy. Interesting fact, he was the first entertainer who went to entertain the troops. Yeah. He lived from 1886 to 1950, so I'm guessing that would be World War I, and he went to entertain the troops. He starred in The Jazz Singer, which we talked about just a few weeks ago because it was Neil Diamond's birthday and he did the most current version. It was also done in between by Danny Thomas, I believe. The story of a Jewish cantor who wanted to be a jazz singer. It's a good movie. Oh, that was a different one. And there was also a movie called The Jolson Story. And this guy named Larry Parks played Jolson. This was in 46. It was like 4 years before he died. How cool to have a movie made about your life while you're still alive. Anyway, Larry Parks played Al Jolson, but I believe Al Jolson dubbed in all the music for it. Yeah. So he did his own singing in his own life story. I want somebody to do my life story while I'm still alive. How fun is that? Yes, vaudeville was everywhere when Jolson was popular. That's true. Did I ever mention that my grandpa Charlie, my father's father, not necessarily my favorite relative, because the kids in his neighborhood called him the old codger, but he was sort of okay with us, sort of. He was in vaudeville for a very, very, very short time, and his song was I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, and his thing was he would do like a vibrato with his voice and shake his fingers at the same time, and that was like so cool. I'm forever blowing bubbles, but he would like vibrate when he did it. That was pretty cool. Yeah, but his real claim to fame was he also sold cigars to Groucho Marx. I mean, we all have our claim to fame, right? Okay. In 1994, there's a lesson in this, my friends. There's a huge lesson in the story I'm about to tell you. There was a football game in 1994 between the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints. I did not get all the names down, but Robert Bailey, who I believe was on the Rams, who ended up losing the game anyway, apparently, but there was this play, and there was this punt, it's like a kick back in, I guess, is a punt or a short kick. I don't know. It appeared that the punt was going to go out of bounds, and it was almost the end of the quarter. So all of the football players, except this guy, Robert Bailey, literally walked off the field assuming that the ball was going out of bounds. But guess what? It didn't go out of bounds. It stayed in. This guy, Robert Bailey, was in the right place at the right time. He picked up the ball and he ran it 103 yards for, at least up until then, what was the longest punt return in the history of football. But can you just imagine everybody's running off the field and you look and you see the ball is still in? So you just gingerly pick it up and start running, but bam, you are a hero. Okay, so what's the lesson there? Oh, come on, I don't need to spell it out to you. Don't give up. Stay in the game. Stay in the game. If you want to win the game, you can't walk out of the game. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking to you. That thing you're thinking about giving up on. Ooh, I'm talking to me too. That thing that you think you need to let go of, it may not be time yet. Stay in the game and check it out first. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've mentioned so many times about writers and artists and politicians who have tried and failed, scientists like oh, now I'm not going to get the quote right, but it was somebody who said I I failed at something a million times before I got it right. And all I'm saying is don't give up. Don't give up. That thing that you're doing that's so important to you, stick with it and then report back. I want to know how that goes. That what do I say, what do I do thing? What you say is I got this. And what you do is stick with it until you get it. You can do that. I know you can. Switching gears. So there was a woman arrested for having a big butt. No, I'm not kidding. She was detained at the airport for having unusually large buttocks. This happened in 1992. It wasn't that long ago. Her butt was really big. So they detained her and they x-rayed her butt. And guess what? 1.5 pounds of heroin was surgically implanted in her butt. I like big butts that cannot lie. That was not a song. I was just making a comment, really, because I don't have rights to that song or any other song except songs that I write. And I don't think you want to hear most of them because I wrote them for my children in my classroom. 1961, Dion, 2 weeks, Run Around Sue. I loved that song. 1962, Stevie Wonder was 12 years old. Stevie Wonder was 12 years old in 1962, and he recorded his first song for Motown. Yeah. And then 1963, this is cool. Bob Dylan recorded The Times They Are A-Changin' in 1963. And then in 1984, Steve Jobs used that song when he introduced the Mac. The times they are changing. 1976, it was Chicago. If you leave me now. I didn't sing it. I was just saying the name of it. And then in 1982, for all you kids out there, the number one song was Do You Really Wanna Hurt Me? That was Boy George. And that was just the name of the song. I didn't play it because I don't have the rights to it. I was just saying the name of the song. Okay. Time for Word Art by Sandye. Yes. Although I really did give you an awfully good lesson today about what did I give you a lesson about? Come on, you were there. Stephen, that's very funny. I'm sorry. That's what threw me off. Okay. I was like so on purpose and focused. And then Stephen writes, thank goodness they finally arrested that woman. The drug dog probably stopped her. Imagine that sniffy scene at the airport. And if I'm sorry for just a moment there, I was imagining that sniffy scene as opposed to thinking about the guy who didn't give up and the punt was inbounds and he ran it for the longest punt return ever in the history of football. Anyway, so the word art for today. Are you okay with you? Okay, then fine. Carry on. Can you look in the mirror and do this? Self, you're okay with me. I like where you're headed. I like how you're getting there. I like you. If you can look in the mirror and say that, you're fine. You're fine. Don't listen to what they say. They don't know. No, they don't. You have to be okay with you. That's the most important thing. And of course, you have to read what I wrote today because that's my favorite story that Indy tells me about when his daughter was a little girl. She was doing something that he didn't want her to do. And he said to her, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And she looked at him and said, if you were me, it's exactly what you would do. There you go. Hey, it's Saturday. I'm going out to dinner tonight at a friend's house. Yes, I am. But first, I must have some breakfast wine and then put on my clothes and go play tennis. I'm pretty excited about that. I'll report on it tomorrow. And I'll see Fritzy later, so you'll get a Fritzy report tomorrow. I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. I'll see you on Sunday. Goodbye, my friends. And don't worry, I will be careful on the court. A sip always brings my smile. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.